started. Gundam fight all set. Ready? Go!
Good evening to all you Maximals and Predacons, to all you good bots and bad super robots, everything in between. As I come to tell you a tale of a winter storm we've survived. But hello one and all, welcome to the Mechpit chat for this January 26th of 2026. Feels like a little tongue twister. Anyway, guys, thank you for coming on out. I am so happy to be here. It has been another Monday. It is a chance to get in and relax and rewind a little bit as we delve into a little bit of a fun old mech stuff. But before we do all that, I want to go ahead and thank Mr. Vince Womack over on the YouTube side of things, as he is dropping all my links into the chat there. Sir, thank you very, very, very much as you drop those in for me. Show you all the places that I tend to hang out around the week, as well as social batteries. Yes, there is a kick that there are people over there, and that people do check in over there. So if you do want to hop on over there and check out one of the YouTube alternatives, check it out at kick.com/commoncaster, as we are trying to grow and we are trying to try out with some of the other social medias. But with that said, to quote Megatron, yes. God, what a fun show. But we will get into that in a minute here, as I have to go ahead and invite in someone in the back here who agreed to take this little nostalgia trip with me as we delve into the classics, into the Beast Wars. One Mr. Punkwaddle.
Yes.
How are we doing, Punkwaddle?
We're all right. We have thus far survived the storm. Down here in Texas, we had way more ice, or I should say we have way more ice. It's sun came out today, but it didn't melt off all the ice on the trees. So the biggest concern is the branches, tree roulette, to see which ones are too heavy and actually dead and waiting to fall. But other than that, we're doing all right. Yeah. Where to park your car? Not under.
Yeah. Well, the thing is with those snow drifts that they pile up, if you're not careful, you will not see your car for like a month, as you got to wait for it all to melt out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think most of the ice melted off the car today, but yesterday it was just covered in ice. Not too thick compared to other places, but it was thicker than usual. That's what she said.
No, but and the thing is, right? Like, it's so easy to play that whole, like, you don't know cold weather type of stuff that you always see people just love to play this sort of contest over, and it's like, look, I saw those temperatures. Like, Dallas was like 20 degrees this morning. That's cold. Yeah. I don't like. Yeah, sure, it might have been colder here, but I'm not gonna fault that. It's like, I'm not gonna play that game there because, like, look, the infrastructure's not set up for that type of weather. That's freezing weather. It's not good for the pipes.
It's when your pipes up north, and the water is designed to come up to the water heater in the middle of the house. When down here, we have the water heater in the garage, maybe, or I mean, some people have it in the attic, which is a little bit better, but then worse if it fails. But like, but you don't, and you've got your water mains coming like all through the outside of the house, and the outside walls, and definitely have to keep the pipes dripping. They're not 6 feet under; they're just like right below the surface, and I was talking to my friend who's up in Montana now, and it's like, yes, things have been built like this way for decades to 100+ years, because that's just how you had to survive. And in Texas, we don't usually have to survive this.
it's it's not that fun. And I was feeling a little bit of it today. Like my battery is starting to act up. I gotta go out and I gotta like clean up the nodes on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like I said, not fun. But all that said, that is
Yeah.
for the here and that is for the here and now. Let's look to the past a little bit, shall we?
Oh,
Uh,
yeah.
Punk, tell me, Beast Wars, one of those little classic pieces of nostalgia. I certainly grew up watching it a lot, and I'm assuming you did as well.
Oh yeah, I remember when this came out. Me and a buddy were super amped. We watched it as it aired, the first season for sure, and I think into the second season on Saturday mornings or whatever. And we were just like, "This is so cool! I want all the toys." I mean, we'll talk about the first gen toys later, but like, yeah, I think because I was an '80s baby, I didn't see the Transformer movie in theaters. I saw some of the reruns of the stuff, but I didn't see the original car version run when it aired, same like He-Man and some of those other stuff. But this is the era when I think I'd have to check the dates, but I know we keep joking about how Reboot was coming out at the same time, and me and my friend, we were watching Reboot and like, oh, this 3D animation, it was the coolest thing ever. It did not age well, but like we were all into it. Like we were like, this is the coolest, newest thing. We're very young. So it was neat. Like when did this actually first air?
Let's see. So this was 97, and I believe Reboot was about a year or two before this, but it was always still just like in reruns. It was always getting shown. It was that era in which you had just the next generation of innovations in entertainment and technology, and we also have a Snacks who's joining us.
Snakes.
What happened?
Well,
Saying hi.
we weren't talking about Pokemon, but it was also happening about the same time. Like there was so much in the mid 90s was like so much for kids entertainment.
Yeah.
Not just made for kids, because adults still click.
No. That's right. I don't know who made Pokemon Go, but I'm trying to get them to Pokemon Go to the polls.
Nailed it.
Sorry.
Beast Wars really was this kind of magic show that.
Now we're gonna adjust that. Just straight up Beast
No.
Wars.
No, just Beast Wars.
Yeah.
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 Where
Good move.
I mean, it was just that big idea to change from everything, from all the vehicles, all the the toy cars, and that to making it animals was. It was kind of an ingenious idea in and of itself, because you look back at the original G1, and some of the most popular ones were always the ones that turned into animals. That you would have, of course, Grimlock. Me, Grimlock. It's kind of a no-brainer.
And I will say this real quick, in the fact that right in the mid 90s, you have Marvel doing alternate realities, which is starting to do a big thing. You have Gundam. You have I mean, I don't think DC had quite too many reboots. You had the Batman cartoon around that time that was kind of setting off its own tone. So like it was actually, some ways it was kind of the thing to do, to have an alternate timeline or an alternate reality version to sell toys, because like you've had 10, 13 years or over 10 years of selling the cars and Megatron gun and this very but now you can go into the dinosaurs, the prehistoric stuff. Megatron, you got here at the wrong time. You ruined it. Ah! Right.
And by the way, what a voice! David Kaye as the voice of Megatron in it. It is that childhood voice of Megatron for me that has always stuck with me. Just a one line. Yes.
Well, not even just him. Yes, he is iconic, but there are so many iconic voices. Like the guy who did Rat Trap, I think it is, the Canadian actor.
Mm-hmm.
He also did Trey's in Wing. Like if you go to his Wikipedia or IMDb page, like all the anime and all of the uh, animation and Western and movies and stuff and voice acting. Like this is the prime time where like all these guys were, all these voices for all these cartoons and animes and dubs from anime. Like these were the voices you heard every afternoon, every Saturday morning, and it's like kind of what we have now with some of the main dubs and voice actors and people understanding and getting more connected to the original voice actors. But it's like these guys were heroes, and we didn't know who they were, but we knew that voice.
It's true. We did know the voice.
But it's one of those things where you may not pay attention to who the voice actors were, but you recognize the voices. Where you will go from one show to the next, and you will pick up on them. You're like, oh, wait a minute. You go, or if you're like an '80s kid going from watching, Starscream on Transformers to jumping over to G.I. Joe, and you're like, wait a minute, it's the same voice for Cobra Commander.
Mm-hmm.
Are the cartoon guys all the same guy? What's going on here?
Or it's one of the things people have said, and I know Vince Mignogna.
Vic Mignogna.
Vic Filet Mignon. He was talking about how when you do a main voice or two, and then you stick around if you have extra time in the studio to do all those side little voices, and some of those side little voices, even it's one line or two line, become so iconic, right?
Yeah. That happens sometimes.
I don't know. This is why I love animation.
It's voice acting side work, because
yeah, but it's like that's why I love animation, just because all you need is the ability to draw it or create it, animate it, and a handful of really good voice actors, and you can bring something to life that would be so difficult. Even with I still like animation better than CGI, especially AI crap that just feels ugh. Anyway, sorry. And rant, please continue.
And so the thing is, right, this Beast Wars fundamentally was a new refresh on the franchise. And to the point where you were having people at the time arguing about it. Like there's the famous phrase "truck not monkey" was something that got thrown around the old forums. Like you will find this when you start kind of delving into some of the Transformers stuff, you start seeing like that phrase get brought up because so many people apparently were just dead set against the changing of Optimus, when it's like, well, technically it's a different character entirely. He's Optimus Primal, not Optimus Prime. It's like, all right, but he's fighting Megatron.
Mm-hmm.
He took the name to honor him. It's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which, as a thought, if this were all coming out today, like, how accepting would people be of this? It's like, when we see all the stuff, all the changes, all the arguments about woke this, etc., that, I can't help but pause and think, like, would people have problems with certain elements of this show? And to a degree, I could see some elements in there, but at the same time, there is a lot of depth and nuance to the show that took it a step above ultimately what we got with like the G1, where it obviously was solely intended to sell toys. And don't get me wrong, Beast Wars was as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I wound up going down a rabbit hole after I watched the first couple episodes this weekend. And I found this little playlist over on YouTube of this like 10-minute video. It's like all of the big notable character deaths from Beast Wars. And I click on it, right? And I'm watching it. I'm seeing, oh my God, like, oh, here's the death of Quick Strike, and here's the death of, Dinobot, and here's the death of Air Razor or Tigatron, and it's like, they actually took the time to add some meaning and depth and weight to the deaths of like a lot of the heroes. A lot of the side characters often might have gotten like a humorous death, but there was weight to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it feels good to go back to. Like, yes, we can of course talk about the animation, and it does deserve to be talked about because it's one of those things you look at and you're like, this really doesn't age as well as it could have.
Well, you have to look at the technology they were working with, and the budget they also were working with, and the time constraints and all that stuff. And you do fast and loose with the artwork. You make it look okay. You make the style. Pretty much you work with the house style, but you make your house style somewhat easy to animate, and that's how you make a cartoon to sell.
It is funny though when like shows that were made 5-10 years later still use that same animation, and you're like, why did you stick that little thing or that creature in your otherwise animated thing? It's almost like a callback. It's almost like a nod, to that era.
Yeah.
But like you said, yeah,
You're making a cartoon for kids. You're not making a masterpiece trying to win a freaking an Academy Award of some sort. You know what I mean?
I think you nailed it actually better than your first comment on that one about this was actually aimed for kids Saturday mornings to sell stuff, and for yes, the voice acting and the stories had more depth, and they treated kids like they were adults or able to process things, but it was still aimed to and marketed for selling things to kids, not $50 toys to adults.
I mean, you still have to make the story make sense because, yeah, kids are dumb, but they're not like completely dumb.
Yeah. Well, they are now because everything's been dumbed down for them. But
6, 7.
Yeah, I am Cornholio.
Oh shit! That was our. Was that ours? That's not
Yeah,
ours.
I saw a meme about that
I'm
today.
Cornholio.
What's up?
Yeah.
Every generation had that brain rot stuff.
Yep.
Was it the rusty spoons or whatever?
I love Rusty Spoon.
You
leave Mr. Salfingers alone.
Yeah, you want salad fingers in your in your snow apocalypse too, man.
Oh my god, I need to do a watch party with Gator watching those old ones. I gotta find those old clips.
Oh, yeah. Boy.
You want to do that? You want to do that Wednesday, Punkwaddle?
I don't know if I can survive that.
You need to see if Gator can suffer from brain rot.
Gator is like half brain rot, isn't he? Or third?
I think Gator is immune to brain rot, but we'll test it. We'll put a trial into it.
You gotta see if he loves Magical Trevor. Everyone loves Magical Trevor.
I think Gator just wallows in the shit. You know him. He's a pig.
Sadly, sadly there were no pig Transformers in the show to get us back to that. Although we did get a Warthog toy, and one of the most notorious problems that Transformers ever suffered was a pig toy. Tell me, have you ever heard of gold plastic syndrome or GPS?
Maybe, but I need more context.
Okay, so a lot of there's for whatever reason, Hasbro or Takara Tomy had this run of like this kind of this like brass gold kind of colored plastic.
Mm-hmm.
And it was notoriously brittle.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these toys were spring loaded, so you like flick the tail and the whole thing transforms. Yeah. But if it's made out of gold plastic, you basically have a grenade on your hands because you don't know if you're gonna flick that tail and the whole thing's gonna just shatter on you.
Yeah. Okay.
And one of these was a particular Transformer called Randy, which was just a reissue, was just a recolor, or was just re-release of like a Warthog Transformer that was just done in gold.
Okay. Yeah, they did that a lot.
Want to make it new? No, let's make it gold.
I mean, it's the same thing with Bandai and Gundams being color swapped, and they do that too. Not as bad as they did on this one.
Here you go. In the Transformers wiki has a little section just about how bad this toy was. Upon transformation to beast form for this picture, something went crack and a spring fell out, accompanied by plastic dust. This is not a joke. This actually happened to this exact toy. One of the most notorious examples of gold plastic syndrome in all of Transformers. The entire figure is built around the spring-loaded auto-transformation gimmick. And all of those thin, swirling metallic gold parts are under constant stress when in beast mode, which is how he's packaged. Held together by only a clear rubber band in the packaging. That's if the rubber band hasn't already disintegrated. Because again, this is a 27-year-old toy at this point.
Yeah, and the G.I. Joe's rubber band was bad enough.
So be careful when removing it from the packaging in case yours happens to be on a hair trigger, as you could end up with a small part crumbling and flying off. We highly recommend you either keep this one in the packaging or transfer it in robot mode once and leave it alone. And keep it away from the edge of a shelf in case it dives off. In fact, don't even breathe near it.
That's funny. That's really funny.
Yeah, it's one of the most notorious things that came along in toys for Transformers, but it's one of those little things we can kind of look back on and say, I am so glad that I don't have to deal with that. I'm so glad I didn't get the loaded gun of a Transformer toy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys happen to go watch the first couple episodes of the show?
I did.
I did not. But it's okay. I can make fun of it still.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Punk, how did it hold up to you for kind of coming back to it? Because it's
Oh man, like I said, I remember watching most of the first season like as it aired and talking with my friend about it and like being really excited. So this really brought me back. This really brought me back to the like all the unique personalities like Rat Trap is just being a little butthead. You've got Cheetor, who's kind of a punk, and then like you think you know which one's Starscream at first, and you're probably the Pterodactyl, but then the Dinobot, and you're like, wait, which one is trying to usurp Megatron more right now, right? And even like the silly animations and the textures of the simple textures of all the environment, right? It's just, it still carries because of the voice acting, because even with that animation style, which we'll joke about the whole time, like it's expressive enough between the voice work and the characters that it's like, it's believable. I can jump straight into the story and suspension of disbelief. I'm there, right?
Well, I think the biggest thing that certainly helps is the intro, because it has all the right elements, especially with like it being the 90s, just to hook you in.
Yeah, and I will say one other thing is, yeah, go ahead, go with that, and we'll just go with that, and I'll add a little bit more later.
What the heck? Let's hear it again. Like, I'll take the copyright hit on this. I don't care. I love this thing too much.
Yeah.
I mean, right away, it's give you all the gist of like, okay, here's how we got here.
Yep. And all that.
It is really screaming 90s CGI though.
Oh yeah, and the texture feels like it's copy paste all over it. But again, I love how this is like the first 3-4 minutes of the show, and they turned it in the intro, and that's it. Like, yeah, go ahead.
Some high tech Windows 95 shit right here.
Yeah, the best Windows ever.
We look at
Right?
this. We look at this now
Fond memories.
with the levels of technology to where we've gotten now,
Mhm.
and this would be the rough cut, the rough draft for just storyboarding purposes. Like
Yeah,
the
but I still
animation you would have before you would go and spend the time to render it all in full proper.
yeah,
That's what the concept pitch, yeah.
it's still better than She-Hulk.
I still find it hard to believe the similarities on how the Transformers get to Earth from G1 and Beast Wars was just coincidental. I mean,
It's not quite coincidental. Like, go ahead.
yeah, they sort of have a throwaway line about a trans warp drive, so we've got anywhere and any when.
Yeah.
But the thing is, right? Although I gotta point out, like in the first episode here, we see like multiple moons in the sky, so you could easily be led to believe this isn't Earth.
Yeah.
So I gotta go rewatch through more of the series to see if we actually get an explanation for why there are two moons.
Yeah.
Like
Go ahead.
I seem to recall that Unicron is invoked at one point, so maybe it's him as one of those moons.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because he's like, you took us to Earth, you screwed it up. But that's him assuming that they're at Earth.
Right. Oh,
Bam, bam.
Uh-huh.
it's up there.
Wars.
It's up there. It's screaming the theme song at you, so you
Yeah.
know exactly what you're watching. You're not gonna go confusing this with Batman.
I think one of the other things about this show is I don't know if it's even till like the second towards the end of the first episode, but at some point, not right at the beginning, they talk about, we're outnumbered right now, but the rest of the crew got ejected in the stasis pods, which then is that throwaway line to set up for we can add anyone at any time we feel like because they're in a stasis pod, which is always about when the show is getting a little stale or like, okay, we've run the course we can with these characters. We need to add something new. Bam. Oh, somebody landed. Who is it? Is it us or is it them? Let's get to it first. I know I'm jumping the gun, but
I mean, no, you're right because it gives you a good reason to explain how new characters can get onto here. When you're right, when you do get kind of tired of having the same couple of characters, where this routine is kind of fine, but surely we could do something a little bit more with them.
It's
I forget how silly some of the transform is.
Mm-hmm.
But damn it, if you don't love the look of just like Cheetor running and transforming, explosions behind him, he's a total badass, hot shot. That's some good stuff.
Oh man, it's just yeah.
And they actually put thought into it. You gotta commend them for the way they give weight to the later characters that show up. Like one of the ones that comes to mind first and foremost is gonna be Tigatron. If you recall how he's basically a protoform who gets scanned as a tiger, lives among them, and sees himself as one of them, not as part of the Maximals and Predacons, not part of their war.
Right. Yeah, that's a fun story arc. Well, yeah. And I also want to say the pacing of this show, right? You're thrown into the fray immediately. They're it feels like, I mean, the first 2 episodes feel like a intro movie, right? Because you're thrown into the fray. It's like any of the classic sci-fi movies around that time. Somebody's chasing somebody, crash on the planet. You figure out how to, the lines, we need these beast forms so that we don't, there's too much energon, we can't, our regular forms will shock. Okay, so you get these beast forms, bam, you're out searching, wait, don't go, oh, we're in the middle of an altercation, right? And I know I sound like a big nerd right now because I am, but it just, there's not time for exposition in the first 2 or 3 episodes. It's just straight to it. There's moments of interaction like, Prime, I'm in charge. You need to do what I say. No, I don't want to do what you say. Like, disobey me one more time, you little rat.
You'll find out what happens.
Yeah.
Oh God, there is so much great setup there for a lot of characters. I mean, obviously, not everyone's going to get their time to shine. Rhinox is kind of there as more of a support character, so he doesn't really need to be in the forefront as much. But he's a sturdy, reliable rock for the others to rest upon.
He gets some great shots though. He gets that grin. He gets that the moment of almost comic relief. What he's thinking when they just flash to him and they're like, okay, he had his moment.
Or when he picks up Rat Trap, who's like, no, I'm not gonna do this, and he's holds him up to fight as he's firing.
Exactly. He's that guy. He's a strong silent type.
Okay. He's an underappreciated character in a lot of ways. Don't get me wrong, he's popular, he's beloved, but he doesn't exactly get a ton of time to shine when you have these other just bright characters that are there to steal the spotlight. Rat Trap was always one of my favorite characters because he's that kind of smooth talking, slick guy. He's why should I? He's Brooklyn the personality.
Yeah.
I'm walking here.
Mm-hmm. Come on,
man. And
Brooklyn Rat, aka Rizzo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm sure they were probably thinking about that when they cast for him. They're like, of course, we gotta have. He's a rat. He's gonna be a New York rat. So he needs to have some kind of New York accent. What can we do with that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's archetypes for a reason, and people who were born after 2000 who think that they should remove those archetypes are silly because they're tried and true. And it's funny that after 15, 20, 30 years, they realize that those archetypes are actually there for a reason and go back to them anyway.
But even then, you could still take that trope, take that as the base personality, and find an interesting little way to have a little twist upon it.
Yeah.
Right. For some reason, when they stuff Rat Trap into the cobbled together sub thing, the music starts playing. Oh, dude, the Transmutate episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was such a good one.
I have to watch it again. I remember, but yeah, there was they dealt with some bigger, heavier issues actually, in a fun sci-fi way.
And it comes across as such a tragedy.
Mm-hmm.
It's essentially a transformer with a birth defect.
Mm-hmm.
Who is effectively your special needs transformer. Mm-hmm. And is made to be it has so much weight and personality and soul to them.
Yeah,
that is able to transcend both sides of this war, where you had Silverbolt and you had Rampage, both seeing more to the character, and
there was a lot more awareness about autism, beginning certain genetic defects, certain things were becoming more common. They were trying to figure out why. I want to make a joke about the Flint water, but it's probably inappropriate. But like, but there's all these
talking
things.
about.
Exactly. But like, again, that's why I loved even back then is how you discuss things with kids in a way that they can understand the deeper truths without preaching to them, without telling one-to-one. It's like understanding concepts and then learning how to apply them on their own, which is, you know, kind of what I learned in some of my sociology classes, you know, and things like that. It's like you learn about the world and how to interact with it and how to interact well, and then you take those tools. You don't just learn a formula or a theory or how to get the A on this test and then you're set for life.
It didn't talk down to people. It's like the audience are going to be fundamentally children. That's who the core audience is. But we're not going to belittle them with the way we talk down to them to kind of get some of these lessons across. And this show didn't have to do that because of the changes to the way TV entertainment was done in I think the late 80s.
Mm-hmm.
So it was able to just have fun. It was able to be a fun show, but it was able to, you know, work in these little messages, these little elements there. And for me, to kind of bring us back to the first episode, Dinobot as a character, he's the character through whom I started learning about this idea of honor. He's this warrior who, you know, believed in this honor code. Like I if I'm gonna win, I don't want to beat you by you having a trip and fall. I want to have earned it.
Right. And I was like, I can respect that. Like, I didn't do this. We're even. You know,
exactly.
I can accept that, right? I can trust you based on that word better than anything else you can say, right? In this moment.
But I mean, you're right. It's such a tight story. We get a lot of stuff in there. We can to set up for what everything's going on. We have a good reason for why they can't have these big, long, prolonged fights because there's so much energon in the air that basically too much exposure to the radiation, they're going to get sick, they're going to seize up, etc. So yeah, it makes sense why we have to have these short battles to go in, fight, and then get out.
And you start seeing so much personality, especially when it's just Rat Trap and Cheetor and how they egg each other on and how they push each other to do. They're not quite Beavis and Butthead, but they kind of push each other to be like bros and like, oh no, okay, fine, I'm gonna do this. And then there's that one point where in episode 3 where Rat Trap says something to Cheetor and Rhino looks at him like, you know what you just did, right? He's like, what do you mean? You know what he's gonna do? Yeah, I'll go check on him. It's like, you know, all that needs to be said is like, we know how this is gonna go, so go deal with it. Okay.
I mean, they do a good job of building up. It's like Rat Trap, while he's part of the crew, he doesn't see it as like a military operation, even though it effectively is at this point. That there is a chain of command that has to be respected, and through Rat Trap not respecting that, we can still get those lessons across about why you should follow a good leader. You easily see those differences in that leadership style between Megatron, how he's just like, I will do anything to win, and then Optimus is like, I will not give an order that I myself would not go through on.
Yeah, in the first fray, when Optimus says, Rat Trap, go do this, he's like, ain't my hide, ain't my thing. Optimus is like, screw it, I'm doing it. He's like, well, I ain't gonna risk my hide. He's like, I did it, and I, like you said, I wouldn't ask you to do anything I wouldn't do, but I could have given you much better cover fire. I might not have get injured, you might not have get injured, because you were being a little punk. I did what had to be done.
Right, and it shows that it does show there's a little bit of growth that Optimus might have to develop himself. That while he is in this position of leadership, he could make mistakes.
And if you get your king, your leader, injured or damaged or broken or dead, then the whole unit becomes a bit rough.
So
I
okay,
love
so
this photo.
who was your guys' favorite characters? And I know Snacks, you didn't get a chance to watch it, but I mean, surely you remember it. You must have a favorite.
Like what? My favorite?
Yeah.
Shoot, I'm forgetting.
Were you a Cheetor guy?
Cheetah was good.
Like with the way they put him into the forefront so much, it seemed pretty obvious they were really trying to push his character over the series as like the super popular one. Like he is like the Red Ranger, Green Ranger of the show.
Hmm.
What about you, Punk?
Well, like I said, I'm trying to remember all the additional ones. I think I liked the white tiger a lot. Of course, when I was a kid, I really liked white tigers, Siberian tigers. But out of this group, I really like Rat Trap.
He like I said, he always was my favorite when I was a kid. Like I was like, I want I want the Transmetal Rat Trap toy, like because that was cool. So I was like, he's a little mouse that has little wheels, so he can kind of roll around. It's like super cool.
Hmm.
Uh, I still gotta give it to Dinobot.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I was about to say Dinobot's pretty dope.
Yeah.
I remember him being pretty cool, and what's the tiger one that was like? Wasn't there like a tiger one?
Are you talking Tigatron
Yeah,
or the Thunderhawk? Tigerhawk.
Tigerhawk. That was it. Yeah, Tigerhawk was pretty cool. I'm trying to remember. This is like, last time I watched this show, I was a kid, so
Yeah.
It is here nearly almost 30 years after the show aired. We're talking about it now.
Yeah. Really.
and I was a youngin back then, so oof.
Yeah. You were a lot younger.
yeah, I was the primal age for that. The Optimus Primal.
I was 8 years old. I remember I was the perfect age.
Yeah,
I was at the toy store. I'm like, I want a Transformer.
Well, I was a little older than both you guys, but I still
all good.
in the marketable age,
That's all right.
If I did my chores, maybe I could earn enough money to go to KB Toys.
Oh God. Oh, pour one out for KB.
Yep.
That went out faster than Toys R Us.
Yeah.
Toys R Us is still in spirit alive,
Yeah.
but
yeah,
we can blame
KB is
Mitt Romney
dead.
for it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Is KB still an online store? Like all these old stores that like when it died, this.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Or people like with Bed Bath and Beyond, like whatever.
But they're still alive online. Yeah.
Somebody just buys the rights and it has nothing to do with the parent company or any of the policies.
I kind of wish Joe and Fabrics was still alive online, but unfortunately,
yeah,
they straight up went freaking Chapter 11 on everything.
But
so apparently, Toys R Us acquired the remaining KB Toys rights. So effectively,
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Essentially, they were the same business model.
Yeah, so it's like they're going under, so they might as well have bought up the competition just to make sure it can't come and steal anything from them.
Yeah, cool. Run everything into the ground and then auction it off later.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they were gonna die anyways, just because they were. It's the whole like Walmart thing, Like what department store is around now besides Target and Walmart?
Yeah,
I guess Kohl's is a Target store.
Macy's,
yeah, Macy's still going around. JC Penney's. But
Yeah. Oh.
but they're not the big box store department stores that everyone's thinking of.
Was it Marvin's California now or
Yeah.
Macy's?
Like Macy's and J.C. Penney's are mostly like, hey, you want clothes, you go there.
Well, JCPenney also what year was that when they started going into the freestanding instead of being in malls, and that like made everybody's brain spin because since they were like them and Sears were the mall.
Yeah.
So
And then malls started to
so
die. And
Yeah.
then Sears
so
went away.
a couple of months ago, I stopped to like one of the big malls here in the state, here in Michigan, the Great Lakes Crossing,
Okay.
and it's a big giant mall. It takes you like an hour to walk around. Basically, this is the largest mall in the state.
Okay.
Everyone comes here from all around just to go there. And as I'm going through it, I see in one of the many little cubby kiosk little buildings,
Mm-hmm.
Toys R Us. It's like, holy crap! I didn't realize it. And like, sure enough, like they are making little attempts to come back. It's not going to be what it was, but
oh no.
Yeah, there's one in our little mall in New Hampshire. There's a Toys R Us in there, and it's just like, oh, that's cool. And I walk around, and they sell like just lots and lots of like calendars, and they have like proper toys for kids too, which is neat. And like if it was a bigger store, like it would be a proper Toys R Us, but it's a mall boutique, so it's adapted for the mall boutique size, So you're not gonna see any video games or anything like that. You're gonna see like a few RC cars, a couple plushies here and there, board games and whatnot.
Yeah, I remember one of like in Texas we had a few some of the last holdouts, and then I'm pretty sure they tried to put one down in like the Galleria in Houston, and I don't know if that one's still open, but like like how Chicago got the Gundam store recently.
Oh my god, they have Gundam base. Yeah, I was like, oh shoot, I want them to have a Gundam base in like Boston or even New York. I would take the travel down there.
I feel like my selfish, but well-informed metrics of the country think that if you have one in Chicago, I think one in Houston or Dallas makes the most sense. I mean, Houston because it's so international, right? I mean, I'm sure there's direct flights to Japan all the time. And it's halfway to the country, just on the south side. It's perfect.
Yeah, people think of Texas. They either think of Dallas or Houston.
Yeah,
they either think of one of those two. And then when people think of the United States, they think of L.A. or New York, or cities.
Yeah,
let's just say cities.
Houston's getting bigger for Houston's always been big on the international market, but it's become more inviting, I think, in the last few years.
Well, it's a good port town, right? It is a harbor, right?
Yeah, you have the Port of Galveston. You have like the waterways that lead up into closer to Houston. You have all that stuff, the shipping. I mean, you're in the Gulf of America, and now all that stuff. But also, like Houston has had growing up there, Houston has a strong international area. They have little pockets of Koreatown, Chinatown, this, that, the other thing. Good little neighborhoods, good little restaurants. I mean, it's gotten to where the city's grown so much. You have a good little Asian market, Indian market, and prime spots and good suburb hubs. So you can get and really good restaurants. So you can get really good cuisine all over. And yes, I know. And this is one of the ones that I make fun of the most because I love the fact that it's a penguin.
But it is a shell former.
It is one of the most atrocious shell forms.
Yeah,
also, it is.
A little known fact.
Literally, it's a snap together Easter egg shell.
Yeah, and it's also for something that I do not condone.
Well, you just want to apparently Punk. You can we snap your back in half. You shoot a gun out your spine.
Yeah, I can be the crotch rocket.
Yeah, I feel like we can make a better penguin mech.
I think so too.
Yeah, we'll call it pen.
I just gotta wait for it to get warm again so I can actually use the glue.
Yeah.
I tried painting earlier yesterday. Just a few things here and there, and oh my goodness, I was just like, okay, that's enough painting for today. I need to set up my event system if I
What,
want to do more
you
painting.
don't want to stay inside and get high?
Not really, not really. They're not toxic paints; they're just acrylics, but still, they're thinned out acrylics, so it's not terrible, but it's just like, yeah, that's enough of that.
At some point, you just want decent ventilation, decent air.
Yeah, I'm happy. I finally built the RX-78.
Nice.
My first
Which
one
version?
is the real grade.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, dude, that one's so like, it's small, but it's got like all the like all like the tooling and the details and
Oh, that was like the flagship early first RG. They had to make that one. I mean, the Zaku ones had some issues, but the Granddaddy, they made sure that one was on point when they came out with it.
yeah, that one was really good. The hands were good too. I think I'll like the hands on the Zaku's not really worky. Just because they were like, let's make the fingers move, and that was actually not a good idea. On the master grades, they work. They're big enough to work. On the real grades, because they're 144 scale, it's too flimsy. It does not work.
Yeah,
it doesn't hold. But now I'm on the 144 scale real grade Zong.
Okay.
So that head, the head, I just finished the head. That's as far as I got. But it's like 10 to 12 pieces of just the head alone.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
instead of the 4 pieces.
Yeah, it's got the mechanism where you turn the neck, the eye turns.
Oh yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Those are.
I always like that. The mono eye turns inside the head, which is really dope. Yep.
But as far as Beast Wars, I'm after turning it on, like I'm more excited about going back through this than it was. I mean, I know we were kind of getting a little member berry-ish last week, but man, this kind of reminds. I was going to parallel it to like as with voice acting and story, even though again with the animation, but like Gargoyles was also around this time that had those deep, well-known voices, those the good story, and like animation aside, they have both really rich and deep stories that just go straight to it, right? They don't pander around, they don't muddle. You just jump straight into the fray and you start figuring it out as it goes. And I think that was a really good methodology, style storytelling, and I kind of miss it, like especially for Western stuff, right?
It certainly feels like something that has been so far removed from us. Like the intent of storytelling, the types of storytelling that they would want to do, like for the sake of telling a good story, not without having all the modern hiccups on this stuff that you would expect nowadays. Like it isn't trying to force in the female character like right off the bat just to like check some arbitrary box of like having the female character for the team. It's like, yeah, we get that, but we have a build up to their introduction,
right?
Like, and it gave us one of those 90s femme fatales that changed a generation with Black Arachnia.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And again, Black Widow, which kids will think that just maybe started with Marvel movies, and the lady who said that she aged out but she's still doing movies, ScarJo, like, but the Black Widow has been like vixen, femme fatale, spider, Like that's
ScarJo
good.
would still get it.
I know, but she made that comment 5 years ago, and I don't disagree with you said. I just wanted to use that as a good tangent and run back to what we were talking about. But like, again, this is just a well-used trope in storytelling, right?
Yeah, I get it.
Like the rat, the Optimus Primal is the, he demands respect because of his size, because of his character. Like
He's a stern
they're,
leader.
and they're in Rat Trap is like, oh, I'm a rat because Cheetor's like, I'm a cheetah because I'm fast. This fits. And it's funny because not only did the thing scan, but they immediately be like, this is why I'm this animal. This is why I chose this animal. Like they had some autonomy to it, right? My body, my choice.
I mean, I guess we should really be glad that we found like that the ships landed in the right mountains to find a gorilla and a rhino and a mouse together with a cheetah nearby.
It was no, this is the world of this must be the world of Princess Bride, because that's an ROUS.
Yeah, it is an RUS. You're right. But they're not real. They don't exist.
Yeah, right.
My shoulder.
Nom.
That's a really good question, Vince. I know that we've had some ancillary media that's gone in and started to show like.
Did he freeze on you too?
Yeah, he's been freezing off and on tonight.
Cybertron
it's
for it.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're back, kind of, and then then he's out of for a second, and then you catch us up.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some media we've gotten in the years since that showed like there's a sequence, for example, where the Predacons go and steal the golden disc that I believe they had at the start of this.
Yes, yeah, that's the whole spot where he's like, you made the wrong, we're on Earth, you did it wrong, we're at the wrong place in the wrong time, Megatron, you screwed up, this is useless, and he just throws it back into the ship like this piece of junk.
Oh shoot, look at the time, guys. I do gotta cry. I do gotta freaking eject now. I had to wake up early tomorrow.
Trust me, I'm right there with you. So I think with that, it's gonna be a good time for us to clean up. Wrap up.
Yeah, I think we're wrapping
today I got snowed in from work, so I didn't have to go to work. But tomorrow's gonna be a different story. So
yeah, make sure you tell all the leaks after you're snowed in.
So I guess to wrap up real quick, let's. What do you say we hit on this some more next week? Let's do get through the first 5 episodes, okay?
Okay.
3, 4,
okay,
5.
I no promises. I'll try though.
I'll
try to remember.
It is on Tubi, so at least it's easy access.
Yep.
Okay. I'll try.
So, just to kind of give you a heads up, middle of February is going to be the Space Sheriff Gavin. I want to cover that when it does come out. So,
okay,
we'll probably do some Beast Wars up until then.
Okay,
nice.
Very well.
But Snacks, what you got going on this week? Anything coming up?
I did a very quick, short, freaking Mecha Monday today. I might do something tomorrow, but maybe not, depending on how I feel. And Wednesday, me and Punk are we're gonna talk about something.
Yeah.
On Wednesday, we're doing the Cotton Collision on Wednesday.
Yeah, we're gonna crash out real hard.
Crash out on something. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, don't. This is not in 2026. You don't want to have a crash out.
Yeah. Well, you can have crash out. Just gotta stay away from the ice.
True. We could talk about ice road trucking.
Ice road trucking. Hey.
Punk, what you got coming up? Anything on the channel we can expect?
No, but I should. And also, with all this talk of the White House promoting penguins, I'm retweeting things and trying to build up that hype, and so hopefully I don't completely lose all the momentum before it's gone.
Well, I would say your best bet probably just do a couple little random live shorts on like YouTube or post them on X because
Yeah.
that's where all the interaction with is. And I think people are gonna want to retweet like a penguin puppet just
Yep.
doing something. I think there's a good potential there for you. So
Yeah.
I say try some stuff on X.
There you
Fair
go.
enough.
All right, gang. I'm gonna say bye.
All right. Have a good
Later,
night.
Have a good night, everyone. You checked.
Lancelot, launch!
Well, with that said, I'm gonna be tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll be over with doing Talk Hard, and we are getting into the never-ending stories. So we're getting back into some more
Oh.
classic nostalgia.
Atreyu.
I was rewatching and realized, like, oh wait, this is half a book. Like this is like the full book.
I mean, Never Ending Story Part 2, you get the guy from Sidekicks.
And then in the third one, you get Jack Black.
I forgot about that.
He's like he's like the teenage punk. So it is Jack. It is a 20-something Jack Black pretending to be in his teens.
Really? Yeah, that was the era for it.
I mean, they still do it now. Look at Stranger Things.
Yeah, well, they did it. They made fun of it in 21 Jump Street. Right?
True. Oh no, Dinobot down. But
No.
with that said, I think we're gonna be hopping out of here, folks. Let's see. What have you got, Vince? Maybe a homer for next week from IMDb. Cup, who is on Cybertron while the events of the series are occurring, is visible over Optimus's right shoulder when the Preds break into the arcs. Ooh. I'll be on the lookout for that because I do remember very well that we wind up going back to we go to the arc.
Yeah.
But with that said, folks, be good to yourselves. Take care. Stay warm because it's still going to be cold for this week.
Yeah.
And with that, with that said, folks, have a good one. Take care. And remember, the week's just getting started. So pace yourselves. Now let's transform and roll on out of here.
I know stupid. And this is definitely stupid.